Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. My name is Becca, and I will be facilitating this event. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the presenters cannot see you or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. We've got a lot coming up in the spring. The session is being recorded and will be available within about a week of this presentation, right at the site where you registered. So I would love to turn it over to our presenters. First up, we have University of Wisconsin-Madison. So go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becca. And I'm just going to hit from beginning. Welcome. Thanks for joining. My name is Sarah Blank. I'm the regional recruitment manager for the West Coast. So I'm your person here on the West Coast. I'm regionally located here, so I do not live in Madison, but I'm happy to be a resource for you in the future, and feel free to always get in touch. I'll put my information in the chat afterwards. Madison is a really interesting place to spend 4 years. So when you're thinking about the type of environment that you want to be in, it's incredibly, it's very crucial to choose an environment that's going to be conducive to a collaborative environment, to your academic experience, to your experience outside the classroom as well. You can see we're located right between two lakes. Madison is not only a college town for the University of Wisconsin-Madison, but we're also a capital city. So students interested in political science, being active in public service, developing their experiences in that realm, certainly have a firsthand experience in Madison. We have a huge farmers market, tons of outdoor activities, and Madison, being a college town, is very much supportive of both the city of Madison, and then also the community members of Madison are supportive of the university. So really fun place to be. While we're very proud of our rankings as a university, the most important thing to share with you is our Wisconsin idea. This is our guiding principle, that everything we do at the university should extend beyond the walls of the university. The academic work that our students are doing should impact the world around them for good. So how can we take what we're doing and make an impact in the world around us through public service, through engagement, through research, through volunteering? So when we're looking at students who are interested in University of Wisconsin-Madison, we are looking to see if they also share in that notion of the Wisconsin idea and how they plan to use their work for the good of the world around them. So these are some of our rankings, like I mentioned. Going into some of our academic programs, there's a lot that you can study at UW-Madison. We have 8 schools and colleges. These are the homes of all of our different academic programs. So we have over 125 majors, 70 plus certificates, which is what we refer to as similar to minors, but more areas of specialization. So things to note: our School of Business and College of Engineering are 2 of our most popular schools and colleges. They do also have a direct entry option. Our School of Human Ecology, really interesting programs in that related to quality of life. So things like retailing and consumer behavior, textile and fashion, nonprofit leadership. Our College of Letters and Science is our largest college at the university, home to the social sciences, humanities, environmental sciences, and natural sciences as well. So lots to choose from. I would encourage you to go to our website. You can actually see all of the course descriptions, the specific research opportunities that our students are doing, where our students are interning. We have a lot of different programs. One thing to note about our community in general is that while our students are academically competitive in terms of their high school profile and the courses that they've taken in high school, they're walking into a really academically supportive environment. And that's what our students love about UW-Madison, is that they feel challenged in the classroom, but they're also in very much a collaborative space where they feel supported by their fellow peers, they feel supported by their professors, and that ability to grow as an academic in a liberal arts setting. And that's really important, that we have a lot of cross-campus advising, cross-campus collaboration, tons of different research opportunities, some organic, some through our undergraduate research scholars. So there's a lot to do in terms of the academic breadth of coursework that you have at your fingertips. Just like all my peers here today, finding community is really important, and it's very easy to make a large school small. And I'm sure you've heard that before. Ways that we do it at UW-Madison is that our students are highly, highly engaged. They are active in one or multiple organizations. They participate in different cultural communities, identity-based organizations. We do have fraternity and sorority life. We're part of the Big Ten athletic conference. So certainly that big school spirit, that big school pride runs deep, especially when we think about football season or basketball season, as we are in right now. So there's so many different ways to feel part of the community and build it your own. Part of what makes that Wisconsin experience is the study abroad opportunities that we have. So you can check out all of those on our website. Research, like I mentioned, is huge. Service learning, Badger volunteers, for example, and Badger buddies is a way that many of our students are active. Participating in internships during the summertime or possibly during the school year. Our engineering programs have co-ops. We have first-year interest groups and learning communities. We have residence halls, of course. So it is very easy to form that sense of community. But the types of students who do really well in our community as a larger school with 30,000 students, as a large public school, I should say, is that students have to be go-getters. They have to be willing to put themselves in those situations to be active in our community, to get involved right away. That is really crucial. We conduct a holistic approach. We have an early action deadline and a regular decision deadline. We ask for your grades, your transcript, of course, 2 essays. One is a campus essay that shares with us why Wisconsin. So really answering that, sharing your interest in your academic programs and with Wisconsin, a letter of recommendation. And then we are test optional through spring of 2023. So test optional means test optional in the sense of University of Wisconsin-Madison. We are looking for academically strong and high caliber students who have breadth of advanced level coursework in core subject areas. But as I mentioned, we are test optional. We're also test optional for scholarships. So I just wanted to mention that. And as a public institution, any financial aid that's need-based comes through FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And I'm always happy to coach and advise in terms of finances. One thing to mention before I sign off is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, tons of different virtual programming is happening on all of our channels. So please check that out. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will turn it over to my wonderful colleagues who are here. Thanks for.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Up next is the University of Tennessee.
All right. Hey, everyone. So my name is Jordan Berner, and I'm the Regional Admissions Representative for the University of Tennessee. I represent Southern California, Arizona, Hawaii, and Nevada. So I do have this really awesome West Coast territory. I know it's a horrible group of states to have to travel to when we get to go. Trust me, this time being on Zoom, I really wish I was with you in person, but I'm so glad that you're here. So I'm super passionate about the University of Tennessee for a couple of reasons. I grew up in Knoxville. I'm a Knoxville native, born and raised. I was literally born 2 miles from campus, and I'm a proud alumna of the University of Tennessee. So I cannot wait to tell you more about where I graduated from, where I grew up admiring the fine institution that is UT Knoxville. So we are situated right at the foot of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is the most visited national park in the United States. It is the only free national park in the United States, and it has 800 plus miles of hiking trails, opportunities for camping. There's a ski and snow resort up there. Of course, the beloved Dolly Parton, her amusement park, Dollywood, is there as well. There's just so much to do in the Great Smoky Mountains. And so if you're an outdoorsy person and you're looking for a space that's going to be an area that can provide you with an outlet for those kinds of things, Knoxville is a great place to be. We're also, the city of Knoxville is considered an urban wilderness, which means that not only do you have the urban side of it, it's an actual big city, the 3rd largest city in the state of Tennessee, but there's a ton of wilderness opportunities in the area. We have Imes Nature Center just right down the road from campus. There's lots of trees and rivers, estuaries, streams, things to do. So if you are an outdoors person, bring your hammock to campus. We've got a spot for you to hang it up. We love students who love the outdoors. Additionally, we mile walk from downtown Knoxville. And like I said, it is the third largest city in the state of Tennessee. So it's a very bustling city. We are a maker city in the city of Knoxville, which means that there's all kinds of people creating art or music or food. I mean, are you kidding me? The food in Knoxville is amazing. And you can walk there. So lots of fun things to do for students who want that city vibe as well. You don't have to have a car. You can totally get around and do all the things that you would want to do as a student. Lots of engaging things. And we're just right down the road from McGee-Tesson Airport, literally 15 minutes away. And we're within a day's drive of half of the US population, which means we can get to a lot of places really quickly. So there are 29,000 students at the University of Tennessee. We're approaching 30,000, and almost 24,000 of those are undergraduate students. So we have a large institution, and we are on a 910-acre campus, which means you want to bring your step tracker because you're for sure going to get them in every single day. Like I said, we are in an urban setting. We're close to downtown Knoxville. We do have a strong Greek community. It makes up about 20% of our student population, but that 20% also makes up 50% of the leadership on campus. So if you go Greek, you're more likely to do a lot of other things as well. We have 600 plus student organizations to be involved in. So Greek life is just one of those 600. If you want to play Quidditch, we have a Quidditch team. If you love grilling, we have a grilling club. If you love singing, we have a women's and men's vocal a cappella group. So lots of ways to be engaged and involved. And of course, we are a part of the SEC conference, the best conference in the nation. I know my colleagues are mad at me for that, but I feel passionate about it. I love the SEC, and we are NCAA Division I. So if you're a big sports person, we are home to the 5th largest stadium in the country. It's including NFL stadiums. And our football stadium is one of 3 stadiums accessible by water. So we have tradition of sailgating, which is tailgating on your boat or your whatever, dinghy, yacht, speedboat, whatever you have. You can do that before the football games and then just march right up to the stadium, which is super cool. We have lots of really neat traditions like that. But I know you're so curious about what we offer academically, because that's what we're all here for, right? So academics, we have 360 undergraduate programs to choose from within 9 academic colleges. So that puts us in the top 1% of quantity of undergraduate programs offered in the entire world. It's really awesome. So we are known for our direct entry nursing program, for our Space Institute and our aerospace engineering program, for our partnership with Oak Ridge National Laboratory. We are one of 3 schools in the nation that have a partnership with a national lab. And so students in nuclear engineering or really, there are a whole bunch of different fields that you could still intern with ORNL if you wanted. It's so awesome. We are home to the world's first body farm. So our forensic anthropology program is also very strong. And we are one of 30 schools in the nation that have a school of veterinary medicine. So pre-vet is an awesome opportunity at our institution. We also have a law school, a school of dentistry, a school of medicine, a teaching hospital right down the road. So lots of really good things. We're number 3 in supply chain management for business. We have an architecture program that you can graduate in 5 years, and an education program where you can graduate in 5 years as well with your master's and go on to teach. So lots of really great opportunities. You can see down here our deadlines that were for last year. So they're normally around November 1st. And December 15th. If you have any other questions, I'll put my information in the chat and I will pass it along to my next esteemed colleague. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Up next, we have The Ohio State University.
Hey everyone, my name is Caitlin James. I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager for The Ohio State University. So you can see my information up there. If you wanted to reach out, you are welcome to do so. My pronouns are she. Just to give you an overview of The Ohio State, we are one of the largest public institutions in the country. So if you are looking for size, school spirit, plenty of academic opportunities, you have come to the right place. At Ohio State, we have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so we still make the institution a lot smaller, even though we have a 48,000 undergraduate population, but our full campus is about 60,000 students. So you have a good amount of opportunities that we have at Ohio State. This is just an overview of some of our academic colleges and schools. We have over 170 different academic majors and programs, plenty of minors to add on to that. Plus, I also want to just highlight all of our graduate professional degrees that you might be thinking of. Great way to tie in some of those academic opportunities and ways to kind of pull in some of the things that you might be considering when you're looking forward to the next 4 or 8 years of what your career might look like. So at Ohio State, we are certainly a powerhouse, like some of my colleagues have mentioned. Here are some rankings if that's something that you are thinking about when it comes to your search process. But I never like to really highlight these, as I think a student is going to find a great fit at each institution, no matter what it may be. But these are some of the great things that I love to share with our students as they are going and searching and making that difference between all of our institutions. We focus on experiential learning. We want you to take what you're learning in the classroom, outside of it, even as you are taking the outside world and making that your classroom as well. There are a lot of different opportunities with that. Study abroad, we are one of the top producers of that as well. All of our incoming freshmen receive an Apple iPad Pro as part of our digital flagship program to make sure that you are prepared in a tech-driven world. We have nationally ranked first-year experience programs. We want to make sure that that transition from high school to college is a fluent one, recognizing that every student is going to have a different experience. And we want to continue that engagement through your second year with scholarship opportunities as well. Speaking of scholarships, our Moral Scholarship Program, MSc, is our diversity-based leadership and social justice program. It provides only possibly up to a full ride to Ohio State. So if that's something that you are interested in, I highly recommend checking that out. We have our honors and programs, which are another great way to make your academic experience smaller, as well as our learning communities that you can take advantage of while living on campus. And we do require our students to live on campus for 2 years. Now, where are you living? You're living in Columbus, Ohio. We're the 15th largest city in the United States. So we're kind of that good medium-sized city that you could still get to take advantage of an urban environment. It's one of my favorite places, just to give you an idea of where you might be going across the country, give you that distance. But as Jordan alluded to as well, you're in this reach of so many other cities that can kind of expand your potential and the people that you're communicating with as well. Give you a preview of some of the pictures that you can see and what nightlife is like during a normal night. Of course, with coming to Columbus, it's one of my favorite places. The people are really just something special. And it's one of those things that in this virtual world, I miss them dearly, but it's a really easy to navigate type city. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't speak about any of the traditions that we have at a place like Ohio State. Ohio can seem kind of like a random place to go. Maybe you might have family or connections there, but we really love to spell Ohio, and we're going to spell it in a lot of different ways. One of my favorites is a Buckeye hello. Whenever I see someone who's wearing Buckeye spirit, I call out OH and they'll respond back IO. It's a nice social distancing greeting for other Buckeyes that I get to see, but there's a lot of fun things that you can take a part in with that school spirit of what we have at Ohio State, with over 550,000 living alumni across the world. Now, just a brief overview of some of the application and kind of the requirements. We're only on the Common App, so take advantage of all the applications and universities that you can apply to on there. We will read your high school transcripts. We are test optional for 2022, so we encourage that if you do not have a test score, that's perfectly fine, or you don't think it reflects your ability, you don't have to send that, but you really need to make sure you indicate that as it is on the application. Letters of recommendation are optional, but you can see all of the requirements and deadlines. I really want to stress November 1st is our merit scholarship deadline. We do have the opportunity for a national Buckeye Award that goes to all of our non-resident students. Not all of our students, rather. It is for students, and it is a competitive award, but you have to apply by that November 1st deadline in order to even be considered for it. If you have more questions or want to check out more about what's available to you, I'll put my contact information in the chat. Again, and I hope to see you maybe in person, but virtually here very soon. Go Buckeyes.
Thank you, Caitlin. Up next, we have the University of Kansas.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Justin Bankston, and I'm the kind of Western Regional State rep for the University of Kansas. Please reach out anytime. As you can see, I've got my contact information there provided for you. But yeah, so the University of Kansas, we are located in kind of the middle of Kansas, in Lawrence, Kansas. It's a really incredible college town, very much tried and true college town. So really cool experience, really cool option to spend 4 years of time in college at. But to give you a little bit of an overview of our university and what our student population looks like, our average student comes in at around a 25 ACT with a GPA of around a 3.58, 3.6. We have students from all 50 states and 110 different countries. So I really think that adds to your overall experience there in Kansas. Overall, we've got about 19,000 students with about 7,000 graduate students on campus as well. As I mentioned, 41% of our students are coming from out of state, and we're really proud that roughly now 24% of our students are students of color. So something we are continue to focus on and hopefully continue to keep increasing that number over time. But when it comes to kind of areas of study, we do have over 200 different areas of studies at KU. So a lot of different options to choose from, but we are known for academic excellence as an AAU university in a wide variety of majors and areas of study like nursing, journalism, business, our health professions, architecture, education, engineering, music, and we have over 90 different degrees in our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So a lot to choose from, but if students are undecided or get to KU and want to change the major, we do have a very flexible core curriculum, a ton of experiential learning opportunities for students to really get that hands-on experience to figure out what you want to do. And then also a lot of individualized academic experiences, whether it be for academic assistance or different tutoring services or writing center, all that good stuff. So a lot of help there on campus and a lot of great people there as well to help you out. As far as challenging our students, we for sure want to do that. So many of our students get heavily involved in undergraduate research from the day you step on campus and that first class you take. Roughly 25% of our students do study abroad, and some do receive certifications abroad as well. And then we do have one of the top ranked honors programs in the nation. So a lot of our students really jump into that, right when they get to campus and love that experience. Overall, we've got, our tuition is 4-year tuition compact. We do offer a number, 3, in fact, renewable scholarships for out-of-state students. Those range from about $11,000 to $18,000, depending on the approach we took this year, which was entirely test optional. So along those lines, many of our academic programs went to test optional this year and will continue to do so for next year, for fall of 2022. Last but not least, kind of want to talk about some of the fun stuff when it comes to KU. We are a very tradition-oriented university. School spirit is something that we really take pride in. We are in the Big 12, so all sorts of Division I sports going on campus, and we all spend a lot of time going to games, and overall just tradition-filled, history-filled university. Lawrence, as I mentioned, that's where we're located. About roughly 45 minutes away from Kansas City. We are a top 10 college town just because of the experience, ideal location in proximity to a ton of internships and really good job experience opportunities. We're located to a big airport, so students are able to, get to and from, say California or anywhere in the world, real close by. We do have a very extended Jayhawk family with over 350,000 living alumni spread throughout the world that are always more than available to help connect our current students to, job internships, all that good stuff. And then last but not least, campus life. We've got over 600 clubs and organizations. About 25% of our students do participate in Greek life, whether it is academically oriented or just more of a social Greek life. And then, as I mentioned, we do have a number of top 10 Division I or top Division I athletic programs. So overall, just want to last mention that, again, that we are test optional for fall of 2022. We do just have one application when you apply, and that application does serve as application for admission, for scholarships, and direct entry into many of our different programs. So our application will open up on July 1st for incoming seniors next year. Thanks for your time. Rock Chalk.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have the University of Michigan.
All right, welcome everyone. My name is Chris Tesoro, and my pronouns are he, him, and I serve as the California Regional Recruitment Coordinator within the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I recruit and support California students looking to pursue a Michigan education. When introducing students to the University of Michigan, we would first like to reflect on our past as an institution, where we are today, and where we see ourselves going in the future. I would first like to acknowledge that U of M resides on the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the Anishinaabe people. In 1817, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land transfer to the University of Michigan, ceded through the Treaty of Fort Meigs, so that their children could be educated. We recognize the history of displacement of Native communities that facilitated the founding of the University of Michigan. We acknowledge the sovereignty of tribal lands, and we reaffirm contemporary and ancestral Anishinaabe ties to this land, as well as the profound contributions of Native Americans to this institution. Just as we acknowledge the ancestry on the land on which we live, I also feel compelled to speak to both the reality and serious impacts of racial injustice in our country. Black Lives Matter, and we acknowledge the active role that our university must play in the conversation around those injustices and in forging a path towards positive change. Our efforts begin with fostering a diverse, equitable, and inclusive community for our students, faculty, and staff here on campus. Recognizing that U of M is still a majority white institution, please know that we do have an ongoing focus, spearheaded by our DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office, on improving our climate of diversity to be supportive of all. The University of Michigan is a large public research institution that was formally established in the city of Detroit in 1817 and moved to our current location of Ann Arbor in 1837. Ann Arbor is located in Southeast Michigan, about 45 miles west of downtown Detroit, and is consistently recognized as one of the top college towns. Fun fact, we're home to the largest football stadium in North America, Michigan Stadium, AKA the Big House. Ann Arbor provides both a vibrant city feel with more than 300 restaurants and has great access to nature as it is nestled alongside the Huron River. The University of Michigan has a little over 30,000 total undergraduate students on campus, with slightly more than half coming from in-state in the state of Michigan, and the rest coming from across the US as well as the globe. Michigan students are coming from across the globe, as I mentioned, with over 120 different countries. All 50 states are represented, with California serving as one of the largest out-of-state populations. Not only are we geographically diverse, our students are coming from a diversity of backgrounds, religions, races, cultures, I should say, as well as educational interests. 14% of our students identify as the first in their family to attend college. 18% of our students are Pell eligible. 27% of our students self-identify as students of color, and 17% identify as members of the LGBT plus community. The geographic and ethnic diversity illustrated by this slide indicates that your experience at the University of Michigan will be enhanced by students who are coming from all across the country, globe, as well as various diverse backgrounds. What attracts students to the University of Michigan? It is this university's commitment to the undergraduate experience. We do offer a wide variety of academic options with over 280 different degree programs across 14 undergraduate schools, colleges, with a very robust 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Fun fact is only 7% of our classes have more than 100 students, and 84% of our classes are capped at 50 students or below. Popular academic interests include engineering with 17 different majors, psychology, biology. We do offer a pre-med advising resource, as well as a world-renowned Ross School of Business. In addition to our wide variety of academic offerings, we do offer tremendous academic support as well as engagement opportunities in the forms of academic advising, study abroad programs, flexible major minor, as well as certificate options. Our unique academic calendar has our students finishing their finals exam typically during the last week of April, allowing them several months over the summer to explore study abroad programs, internships in the traditional year, as well as research opportunities. And speaking about research, Michigan is considered the top public research institution in the US with over $1.5 billion in research expenditures annually. Undergraduate students are able to start these research opportunities as early as their first year on campus. Students are conducting research around political science, kinesiology, concussion studies on our D1 athletes, for example, as well as business practices, for example, looking at sustainable products. You may be wondering what the vibe or culture is at a place like Michigan. For first-year students, please know that 97% of our first-year students reside on campus or live in residence halls. We offer 13 Michigan Learning Communities, MLCs, to allow students to intentionally find community through shared interests. For example, we do offer WISE RP, or Women in Science and Engineering residential program, which is a living learning community designed to support women in STEM. Becoming a U of M student really does unlock a lifetime of potential that stays with you well beyond your years in Ann Arbor, as more than 630 living alumni around the world provide a personal and professional network for our Michigan graduate. This community is at the heart of our Michigan experience, and we look for emerging leaders who want to enact positive change within their communities. I know I only have a couple of seconds left, so I want to get to these last two slides. In terms of our review process, we do a holistic application review. We aim to get to know the whole you. To do so, we consider your academic strengths as well as the rigor of your curriculum within your high school environment, extracurricular involvement that shows you will positively contribute to the U of M campus community, one teacher or academic letter of recommendation that speaks to your character and level of engagement within your community, as well as supplemental essays that provide us with insight into the person you are. Last but not least, this slide here will provide you some resources. We have adjusted our application process for the class of 2021. More to come for the class of 2022. I encourage you to visit our website. I'll drop some links in the chat. I know I'm right over my time, so I apologize in advance, but I do want to pass along to my colleague at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Thank you so much, and of course, go blue.
Thanks, Chris. And last but not least, we've got the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Take it.
Awesome, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylee Mattel from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I am the regional coordinator, so I have California and the Pacific Northwest, and I am located here in San Jose, California. My contact information, I will shoot in the chat box at the end too, so if you want to get in touch with me, I really would love to hear from you. So just to start, some highlights about the U. We have over 150 majors to choose from, as well as over 130 different minors. On top of that, we have over 1,000 different ways that a student can tailor their education and figure out a major that is geared towards the career path they want to take. So if there's some interests you have, but you want to major in engineering, but you want to take some food science courses, or if you want to take a yoga class, there's so many ways to fit these into your schedule in which you could pick up a minor even, which is about 16 extra credits in that field. Or on top of that, you can dual major, which a lot of our students tend to do. Another perk about our institution with our academics is we are a top 10 public research institution. So like a lot of these schools that you're listening to, research is huge at the university. With that being said, there are so many ways to get involved inside the classroom as well as outside the classroom. All of the professors at the university are there to do three things, and it's one, of course, teach you, two, community service, as well as three, research. So they're always doing research in which that they're doing incredible things. We have co-receivers of Nobel Peace Prize that are going to be teaching you that will also want you to be involved with their research as well. If there's something you're interested in that you want to start, you can present it to our research board and they will perhaps give you funding for it. On top of that too, you can have the chance to be published as an undergrad student, which looks amazing on any resume. When you apply to the university, we have 8 freshmen admitting colleges, nursing being one of them, which is brand new to us 2 years ago. So we do have a freshman admitting nursing school, as well as our College of Science and Engineering, which tends to be huge in this area, our College of Design for our product design. We also have our Carlson School of Management, which is a top business school, as well as we have our Liberal Arts College, our College of Health and Education. So pretty much anything you want to study, we have a major there for you. And then when you apply to the university, you do have to choose a major in which you're interested in or a college and apply to that college to get accepted. So we don't have an undecided major entirely, but you can still be undecided in that college. But you do have to kind of have an idea of what it is you want to study so we can make sure that you're on the pathway for that. On top of that, we also don't have any impacted majors, which I know is pretty large out on the West Coast. So you are guaranteed a spot in your program if you're admitted to the university, which is another great way of why we require you to apply into that college. So our location, I believe, is one of our largest advantages. We are located in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, so Minneapolis, St. Paul, two side-by-side cities with a lot to offer. You kind of get the best of both worlds in which you have a collegiate campus, which is huge. It's what's behind me. So you don't really need to step foot off campus if you don't want to. You really get that college feel. You have a small college town called Dinkytown right next to you. But on top of that, you have 2 miles away, you have a whole city within reach, which you can see here. So when you're walking to class, you're not looking up at skyscrapers, you get to look out at them. And with the city, we have 19 Fortune 500 companies located right in your backyard. So that's 19 internship opportunities for you, as well as huge funders of our program, such as Target headquarters, which I'm sure we're all familiar with Target. They actually fund part of our Carlson School of Management, as well as 3M, which is another huge company, also helps fund our College of Science and Engineering. So you already have connections to mentorships, internships, as well as those connections for when you graduate as an undergraduate student. We have a large living alumni network. There's about 600,000 of us worldwide. So anywhere you go, you have that sense of family as well as that network. We are also a huge culture, music, arts hub. So we have the second largest Broadway seat in America in Minneapolis, a lot to take advantage of, a lot of arts fests going on. So there's really a lot that you can enjoy while you're at the U. We have university-wide scholarships. So for our national students, anyone that's not located in the state of Minnesota, Wisconsin, or South Dakota, you are available for these national scholarships. They range from $2,500 to $15,000. All of our scholarships, even the ones I'm not mentioning, are all 4-year scholarships. So you will be guaranteed those for 4 years. You don't need to apply separately. They are merit-based and they also are advocacy-based. So talking with me can definitely help boost that chance. And these are for our out-of-state students. So when you submit your application, you're going to automatically be considered. But on top of that, we have so many other scholarships available for you too that we can stack on top or that you can receive in exchange. They range from different college scholarships to different private funding scholarships that we have available. Same concept, you'll automatically be considered, no separate application. And last not least, our application information for our fall 2022 applicants. So our application will become available this August, and we do have 3 deadlines. So our early action deadline, which is November 1st, that's also our nursing school deadline. So if you're interested in nursing, that is a hard deadline. We also have our second early action deadline, which is December 1st. These 2 early action deadlines are non-binding, they're not early decisions. So it's just a chance for you to find out sooner your decision. You'll find out either by the end of January or the end of February. There's no disadvantage though to waiting till our regular deadline, which a lot of students do tend to do, which is January 1st. Same concept, you're just going to find out a little bit later, which is by the end of this month, which is March. So again, you can apply it by any of those dates unless you're a nursing major. Test optional this year. So again, for this past year, we went test optional. So you do not need an SAT or ACT score to apply. All we need is your $55 application fee unless you received a fee waiver, and then you'll self-report your academic record. But that's all I have for you, and I'll put some information that you can contact me out in the chat box. But thanks so much for having us.
All right, thank you so much, Kaylee. All right. I think we have time for one question. So I'll have each of you answer in the order that you presented. And the question for you is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we'll start with the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
It's a great question. Explore everything. Look at everything across the country, around the world, every type of school, big public like many of us, large, small private, everything in between. You never know what's going to be a good fit until you look at it all. So, and best of luck.
Great advice. University of Tennessee.
My advice would be to look for a school that truly fits you. Don't worry about trying to impress anyone or going somewhere because it has a big name or because your grandfather went there and so you feel familial pressure. I know parents, sorry. But truly, this is 4 years, but it really will impact the rest of your life and you'll have memories that you'll take with you the rest of your life. So find a school that truly fits you and makes you feel like you belong there.
Well said. The Ohio State University.
Yeah, similar to like what Jordan said, I would say try not to compare yourself to others. This is a journey that is you and all of your own. It's not going to look like a siblings or a cousins. It's not going to look like your friends. And so when you are finding that pathway, try not to compare yourself to other people's decisions. They're on their own journey and you will end up in a wonderful place and you'll have a lot of options and you will determine that success of wherever you end up. And that place will be lucky to have you there too.
Thank you. The University of Kansas. Oh, hello. University of Kansas. Looks like we might have lost University of Kansas, so we'll kick it over to University of Michigan.
Thanks, Becca. I think all the advice was definitely great. I think for the students in the audience, virtual audience, definitely know that our institutions will be flexible moving forward. We know that for many of you, your activities have been canceled. You weren't able to continue your involvement, whether that be marching band, football, athletics, etc. Please know that we would never hold it against you as admissions officers. We are human beings, right? We're all experiencing this together. And I think that's the best advice is that we are right there with you. We will look at you within the context of what is happening. We don't expect your list of activities to look like the students that applied 2 years ago. So that's the reassurances that we want to all give you collectively as admissions folks, because I know that's top of mind for many of you moving forward with this process.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. And finally, University of Minnesota Twin Cities.
Yeah, so a great thing about going last is I can just echo all of these great advice that these folks have provided, as well as just do your research and work with admissions counselors, because this is our job. We're here to help you and work with your counselors as well, because they're working with tons of us and have a lot of valuable information to help you find that best fit that a lot of us mentioned. And great resources like College Board has awesome search functions to kind of pin down what it is you're looking for in a college and give you some great options there. But yeah, definitely just working with us and getting to know colleges on that one-on-one level.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. In about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recording and it'll be right where you signed up. So thank you again. Thank you to our panelists and have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care.